Hello.
Hey, Facebook world.
It's, we've had some technical difficulties.
Quite a few.
So you'll have to bear with us.
Yes.
Sorry about that. We were trying to do something new and creative, and we decided that forget it.
We'll just go
going
live.
So, hey, Tabitha, Lauren, Superior
Hey.
Realty Group. And today we're talking about if you're currently a renter and you're thinking about buying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Because right now is definitely the time. So we're pushing in towards, I know it doesn't feel like it, but we're pushing in towards the spring season. And so, if you are renting right now, we kind of want to go over why now would probably be a good time to get started to build your buying power.
To get started on that
Yeah.
process. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to miss out on some of the rates that are going around right now. They have come down. I think we talked about that in one of our last videos. So definitely don't want to miss out on those aspects. And then also, Tabitha's going to explain why now is probably the time to kind of start that process so you don't miss out in this short inventory.
Right. So first I'm going to back up a minute and just talk about if you live in Huntsville, we have a unique market. Basically, there's lots of places you could live in the United States where it's going to be much more economical for you to rent versus buying because the cost of living is so high.
Right.
And the rental prices are much cheaper than the home prices, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But in Huntsville, we actually have the opposite thing because our home prices haven't really caught up to how fast our economy is growing.
Right.
It's starting to trend that direction, but we still haven't caught up. So it is still an area in which it is a lot cheaper to own a house and pay a mortgage than it is to rent a house.
Right.
So with that being said, if you're thinking that you want to take advantage of your home buying power now versus waiting until your lease, and signing another lease and waiting another year or two until whatever happens in your life, you think you're getting a better job or you're getting married or whatever. There's a lot of reasons why you should go ahead and take advantage of it now. We don't know what the future will bring as far as interest rates. We know right now they're still very good. They're at I don't forget how many year low.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, they're really good right now.
Yeah.
And also housing prices have just started to take an uptick. So with that being said, it's still a great time to buy, and you could save a significant amount of money monthly if you buy instead of renting. So,
and then, and everybody's told you if you are out there renting right now, renting, you're paying someone else's mortgage if you're renting a home, or you're just pretty much paying into nothing if you're renting an apartment. But one thing to kind of take a step back and look at is we always talk about in this industry the price per square foot, because that's how we're able to come up with comps and averages of what a price should be listed at for a home. So if you're thinking about it from that standpoint of what can I afford, what do I need to buy, and you think of it as what are you paying price per square foot in your apartment right now? We've done some research and some kind of shopping around, if you will, recently, and there are, let's take like a townhome that's maybe 900 square feet going for upwards of $1,200 or $1,300. You're pushing over that $100 a square foot mark, which is the average for some really nice neighborhoods in the area. Now,
with a yard and a single family home.
And a garage.
And possibly amenities in your community like a pool
or a clubhouse or something.
Tennis courts.
Yes. And then you get, a little bit more security, in fact, that you're building your investment portfolio. You're starting to pay things towards an investment that you can then cash out on in 5, 7, however many years you plan to live in that area.
Exactly. Or even the flip to that, because, I always put my investor hat on, is that you get married, you have children, your family grows, whatever happens in your life, you leave the area. Like I just said in the beginning, this is a great market to buy, not rent. But if you're an investor, it's a great market to rent out to others because you can make a substantial amount of return on your investment. So, you could just rent that house out.
Exactly.
And make some extra cash.
Right. And then, like she's saying, is the rental rates are pretty much higher than the mortgage rates right now. So if that happened to be you, and you didn't necessarily want to get rid of the property, or you could hold the property currently and buy another property, this is calling building your investment portfolio, and in doing so you can actually most likely cover your mortgage and still have residual income coming in on the back end. So it helps build a substantial income stream over the course of time when you build onto that.
Exactly. It's a great retirement plan.
Very much so. But that being said, the reason we say to get started now is a lot of consumers don't understand that when we ask someone to get pre-qualified or pre-approved, that does not mean that we're asking you to buy the house right this second.
Right.
And that actually only just kind of makes us know that you're qualified to purchase a home at a certain set price point, whatever that price point may be. And those pre-qualifications or pre-approval letters are good for up to 6 months. So if you're looking at it again, kind of looking at this time frame, and let's say you just signed a lease, back in July of last year, you're 6 months out from that lease being called to term. So you have to make a decision if you're going to renew, which no shocker here, I do have that background in me, so I'm not making any industry secrets out here, but when you go to renew, your price is going to go up. They give more incentives to bring people in than they do to renew your leases, so your price will most likely increase, and at that point, you would have already had a pre-approval letter, and we could already have you ready to close on a property, and then you wouldn't have to be doubling up on any kind of payments as far as the mortgage and the lease.
Exactly.
And you don't have to worry about buyout fees or anything like that.
Yep. No, it's a great time to go ahead and start thinking about it. And the other thing is our inventory is still low, which you've heard us talking about.
Yes.
And so it's taking us a little longer typically to find that perfect house for you than it did, say, last year, because inventory is so low. Because of that, a lot of people are deciding to build. So if your lease is expiring anytime between June and August, you really need to be thinking about putting your ducks in a row and finding out, are you able to purchase? And if you are, how much home can you afford so that you can start, even if you're just looking online, you can just start looking.
Right.
Because if you decide to build, that is a 6 to 10 month timeline, depending on size of the home, builder,
location.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's all stuff we can talk you through.
Yeah.
And if you find the flip side of that, if you find your dream house and you have to buy it right now, we have a lot of strategies where we can get you out of your lease. We can ask the seller to buy you out of your lease. We can take a look at your lease
and help you come up with the notice that you have to give to comply with the lease terms, and really go over exactly and break down what it is that you'll be paying to get out of the lease term. And then also just always keep in mind that when you close on a property, you typically have a 30-day window to build up escrows in the property, so then you don't make your first mortgage payment. So there's always that little leeway there that we have to play with between when your lease is supposed to expire and or the notice set to expire to when your first mortgage payment is due. And we've seen that often here.
Oh yeah, nobody likes double payments.
No. So yeah, it's definitely something to take a look at. If you have questions about it, definitely reach out to us and let us know. But like Tabitha was saying, just to kind of piggyback on that, we are short on inventory, so the builder route, you can also even take over a build. So some people think, they always see these buildings going up, so they all must be sold. You can actually take over a build. So kind of playing off of both. If you are towards that end of your lease, or, if that's the case right now and you're thinking, building sounds like a great idea, don't be scared by the total timeline it takes to build from the ground up. Builders have what's called spec homes or inventory homes, and those are homes that go under construction in the hopes that somebody like yourself will actually come and purchase the home as it's being built. So your timeline is typically cut in half by that point.
Exactly.
By the time you see a home up with like framing and wrapping and all that stuff on it, you've already probably hit like your 3 to 4 month time frame. There's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes as far as permitting and laying the slab work and framing it out. So that grunt work is already out of the way, and now you get to take over and reap the benefits of just watching that home being finished for you.
Absolutely. So, lots of strategies, lots of things we can do to help you. If you are renting and you're thinking about buying, just don't wait.
Yeah, ultimately, again, you just have to really think about the dollars and cents of it. We do understand that we have a lot of engineers and military personnel that do come to the area, so they rent because of the unknown time of maybe you're in an internship, or, you don't know how long your employment with the arsenal may be here, because you potentially might be moving out. But kind of going back to what Tabitha said, as that investor hat comes on, this is the market to buy in.
Oh, it is.
You at least can buy and hold it and end up renting it out as the worst case scenario. But a best case scenario is you could just turn around and resell it in the event that situation takes place.
Because our pricing is going up. So
a true story actually is just I got a client under contract this weekend or this week, and the home that she's purchasing actually was just sold not even a year ago. May of last year is when this person closed on it, and they had to move. and we are now closing on this property for them. And from what I understand, everybody's happy. There's not money being brought to the table. So everybody should be satisfied with the deal. So, I mean, this was 9 months-ish, give or take. So May of last year, and they've already put it back on the market because of the circumstances I just mentioned. Yeah. So people have this misconception of, oh, I'm going to drown in a house. It just comes down to how well the market is at the time that you purchase the home, and then how well that agent is that you have, and explaining how the market is projected to be a return for you.
Exactly. Yep. And we're happy to help you with that. So if you have any questions at all,
feel free to just call us.
Just call us. And thank you so much for watching. Please share.
Yes.
And let us know if there's something you want to hear us talk about next week. And we'll be back. And happy Valentine's Day.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.